Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Vertex Stock Car Cup for once another round of this brilliant 5-round championship. We're here for round 4, the Luxsim24 challenge at Circuit Zolder, and what a fantastic night we have ahead of us this evening. 30 laps for these drivers to complete, and in total they are going to be doing a heck of a lot of mileage. I think it works out just under 75 miles they'll be doing tonight on this very narrow and twisty circuit. Welcome everybody that is watching on all of our platforms this evening. We have plenty of you. We've got many Facebook pages: Luxsim24, Simply Race, Let's Race, Vertex Sport Management, Alex Sedgwick Racing, Chaz Draycott Media as well. I am, of course, your host, Chaz Draycott, for the evening and for the remainder of the season. But I'm really looking forward to this one. Zolder's always thrown up some fantastic racing. It's a very, very difficult track. And I think what we ought to do is go on board with somebody, shall we? We're going to go on board with Scott Jeffs and just see what he can do as he goes around here then. Down the straight. It's a very, very tough circuit, like I say. Tyre wear is going to be an issue for these guys tonight. On the brakes, really close to the wall on the right-hand side. Waits for the car to turn into the left. It's a wide old corner at the start, but then it narrows out as you get to here now, into turn 2. Long right-hander. There's a lot of different lines you can take around here to make sure that you get a good run on the exit. We're going to see a lot of them trying it in different ways. Really long turn 3. You want to get the car over to the left-hand side, onto the brakes. Is turn 4. Another high-speed corner that you can either brake a little bit too late for or far too early and get loads of curb on the inside. Scott just having a bit of an issue there running through. Onto the brakes, into the first of the chicanes. So high, these curbs around here. It could be a bit of an issue for these guys tonight. Plenty of wheel spin over the crest as well, down into the Villeneuve chicane. Now this is going to be a bit of a tough one too. Never easy to get stuff around there. No matter what car it's in, if you get it wrong, it is wrong. There's a really hefty curb on the right-hand side through the little right-hander there. You want to be careful of. Over the crest again. Rear wheel spinning up. Oh, Scott's lost the rear and put it in the wall. It's a big hit for Scott. He lights it up, tries to spin it back around. It doesn't quite work for him. Brian Crowell's at the moment is top spot. This, of course, only practice. But Brian, like I keep saying, has got a fantastic following, it seems, this season. So can't wait to see how he gets on. Connor Mills second at the moment. Guillaume Hesno is currently in third place for Red Face Racing. He's followed by Aaron Smith, returning in the bright yellow Bumblebee once again. I love that. I love simple liveries on these cars. They just work. And then we have Ben Crean at fifth at the moment, just ahead of Jace Glenn in the Tech 55 motorsport car. So we've got a good old grid. Once again, the participation in this league has been fantastic this season. Very, very pleased with it. Thanks, of course, to everyone involved. Luxsim24, our race sponsor today. Vertex Sport Management, Simply Race as well. Thank you, everyone that has been involved. Alex Sedgwick is down in 7th place at the moment in the number 9 Vertex Sports car. James Harvey, Student Motorsport, in 8th place. You can see just how hard he is on the throttle and how soft they've got the suspension set up around here. The car's almost wheeling down the straight. And the camouflaged, jagged, I believe they call it jigsaw camo livery, goes across the line once again. Billy Fletcher's gone off the circuit. What have you done there, Billy, son? Well, this is apparently Adam Morgan leaving the pit lane. We want to see Billy. Not sure Billy wants to see Billy, especially as he's gone in the wall. Oh, he lights it up into turn 4. Oh, the car just gets away and it's going to snap the other way, isn't it? Yep, there it goes. And a bit of a shove into the wall. So that means now they're going to be getting into qualifying. So here they go. Here's Guillaume Hesno, one of the first cars out there. We'll go to a better camera than that, shall we? And qualifying now underway. These guys will have what they call sole qualifying or lone qualifying. So they will be the only car on track. Listen to the pops and bangs on the overrun there from Guillaume Hesno. In the number 68. Sounds like he's burning fuel to me. I don't know about you. Yeah, he's doing 60 mile an hour in first gear, burning plenty of fuel. Never know. Could work. Could work for him. Here's Marcel Frey. I've not got that right ever. Friensenna? Is that right? Friensenna? If someone can try and help me with that one, that'd be great. Here's Adam Morgan in the number 17 car for Sicily Motorsport. Adam racing, of course, in the British Touring Car Championship. Same as well with Dan Robottom in the number 32, really lighting up the rears around there. He's in the Luxsim24 Esports with Cataclean livery tonight, as he is every time. Flying down the straight. Sound great. Here's Rene Hugenhout in the number 82 car for Let's Sim Racing. We, of course, have Mike Yao tonight as the race director from Simply Race. You can just see how hard it is for these guys to get the car stopped into that hairpin. Very, very difficult indeed. It's not a straightforward track by any stretch of the imagination. Here's Lewis Corton in the number 54 Naya racing car. Quite an old school livery on that bit of kit as well, I like that. Connor Mills back tonight after a fantastic run at Daytona. Connor, I believe, started 35th on the grid and managed to bring the car home in second place just behind Alex Sedgwick. We've got Ben Creaner out there tonight as well, the number 38 Luxsim24 Esports car. Ben, of course, a Euro NASCAR driver himself. Alex Sedgwick actually put up a brilliant video the other day of him driving around here in the wet in a Euro NASCAR, and it was quite focusing. I need to give a shout out to Andrew Wong as well for El Bandito Racing. He's actually racing at about 3 in the morning in Hong Kong, so he'll probably need a KFC afterwards, as he has down the side of the car. I think he's burning fuel as well. These boys know all the tricks, don't they? Right then, who's furthest round a lap? At the moment, it's Brian Crowell's. Actually, I lie. It's Aaron Smith. Rene Hugenhout's gone off the track, but Aaron Smith is going to be the first car to complete a lap from what I can see. And he's going to be the first one to put a time on the board. That is, of course, if he hasn't had an incident point. There he goes across the line. And the time is a 1:35.8 on this 2.6 mile circuit. Brian Crowles goes top then with a 1:34.9. Great time from Brian. And the number 48, Connor Mills, has gone second in the number 7 Mills Motorsport car. Now, tyres in this race may be an issue for these guys. They're really going to have to manage their tyres over the course of a race. It's very abrasive compared to an oval. Justin Niger is off the circuit there. Here's Billy Fletcher coming into the the first chicane. Wow, plenty of curb there. Monster trucks it over the first one. Sedgwick has gone top again by half a second over Brian Crowles. Alex has definitely had his Weetabix before this championship, hasn't he? Oh, Alex blinking in and out a little bit there as he goes into the chicane. Adam Morgan is 9th at the moment in the Sicily Motorsport Mustang. Plenty of curb for him as well. They've got the suspension set up so soft around here. Here's Jeff Hooper just going through the Villeneuve chicane, or trying to. Like I said before, it's a very tricky bit of track. He knows that he's messed his lap up, so he's going to go in and try and do another one. This is Liam Silkstone in the XI iRacing car. It must be so nerve-wracking getting on the brakes there. Through the double right-hander. You don't want to bounce the car too much because you can light up the rears there. Ben Creaner goes top, 1:34.1. Just less than 2/10 faster than Alex Sedgwick. Ben, of course, won at Brands Hatch in the second round of the season, so he's shown that he's good on these road courses. Oh, Liam's got a bit deep into the hairpin there in the XI iRacing car with the social distancing hashtag on the back. Alistair Topley is out on track again tonight in the number 41 Rogue Motorsport car. Another pretty old school livery on that bit of kit, like it. George Tolsma for George Tolsma Motorsports in the number 25 at the moment. He's 20 seconds off the pace. I think he's had an incident somewhere. He's just booting it now and doing some donuts, whether that's in frustration or not. Here's Ivan Bowmans for Track Velocity e-racing team. Looks like he's in the iRacing Xfinity livery at the moment. We will update the liveries in a few moments, so any car that you see on track will just go completely white for a moment. Paints are being downloaded as we speak, but Sedgwick has gone back to the top now with a 1:34.0. Don't forget that these cars only get 2 laps to set a time. Andrew Wong is going to be one of the last people to do a time. He came out in the session quite late. And Patrick Desmet says, yep, still Brax on top. And that's what he's here to see, of course. Apologies if any of your comments don't get read out. I'm only able to look at one set, and that is on the Simply Race YouTube page. Into the Villeneuve chicane he goes. Into the hairpin, gets the car stopped well. It's not easy to do around there. As he goes up towards the final chicane then. Onto the brakes. You can hear the car just trying to break traction. Locks up the the left front. Onto the power out the final corner. Bit of a twitch there on the exit. And through he goes across the line. And that will end the qualifying session then and give us a grid. Wong will stay 2 seconds off the pace in 14th position. But another close one there between everybody. It was good to watch. Oh, actually, Topley. Alistair Topley has just improved his time. We still actually have Gil Linster out on track. He's only done half a lap at the moment. He's not done the 2 that he's actually got available to him. Same with Guillaume Hesno. Apologies, I thought that was it. This is Guillaume Hesno for Redface Racing. So much curb there at the first part of the chicane. It's great to watch. Oh, locks up a break into the Villeneuve chicane. Through the left. And then through the right. On the throttle, a little bit of curb on the inside. Doesn't unsettle the car too much over the crest. What's it going to do? It keeps it pinned. Knows what to expect. You've just got to be so gentle on the brakes not to lock it up. A little bit of a twitch on the exit. Guillaume really sending it now. He's 1.6 seconds off the pace as things stand. Gil Linster's about to cross the line as well. Where is Gil going to get on the board? As actually, oh, Hesno puts it in the pit lane and spins it. Gil Linster didn't actually do a time that counted that time round. He must have had an incident point somewhere. So he's back on to another hot lap. But he's only got 10 seconds of the session left to go. I'm not sure whether it's going to give him time to tick over and complete the lap. He lights up the rears again there in the 44. And no, it's not been forgiving to him at all. So we have a grid then for this evening. And once again, it's Alex Sedgwick on pole position from Ben Kriener. Then it's Aaron Smith in third with Dan Rowbottom alongside him on row 2, followed by Brian Crowles and Connor Mills. Then we have James Harvey and Marcel Freinsiener. I'm not going to get that name right tonight, I tell you. Billy Fletcher's 9th with Scott Jeffs in 10th. Then we have Lewis Corton and Jason Glenn on the 6th row of the grid. Behind them is Guillaume Hesno and Andrew Wong, with Adam Morgan 15th and Justin Niger in 16th. Then we have Jeff Hooper and Alistair Topley on row 9. Ivan Bauman's in 19th, with Liam Silkstone rounding out top 20. Then we have Rene Hugenhout alongside George Tolsma, Jonathan Rex and Mark Murphy on the 12th row of the grid, and Gil Linster rounding out the back of the field. So we're almost ready to go then. They're going to do a full pace lap behind the iRacing safety car. And we're about to have a lot of fun with this one. Hold on to your hats, everybody. Should be a heck of a lot of fun. Lewis Corton in 11th place. I'm expecting him to do big things and move forward in the field. Lewis has been very impressive this season. Same goes as well for Alistair Topley, who's actually down in 18th place back there. Front 2 cars just disappeared from the grid there. Very odd moment. And they're just about to get rolling now then. And Andrew Wong has jumped to the pit lane, it seems. There he is. So unfortunately, Andrew not taking the start by the look of it then. Here's Alex Sedgwick. Pole sitter once again. Dan Rowbottom qualifying 4th in that one. He'll be a bit happier with that. He's had the updated livery there that you can see with the camouflage on it from the Luxsim24 esports team. I really do like the plain livery on Aaron Smith's car. It works very, very well. Here's Ivan Bauman's a bit further down the order for the Track Velocity e-racing team. The Belgian driver qualifying in 19th position. Liam Silkstone just on the right, he's shot there. Just ahead of him, he's 18th. A full lap around here will feel like quite a long time for these guys. But very soon we will be underway. Final sector is going to be very interesting tonight. It's so windy and narrow, definitely the narrowest part of the track. But it's almost time to go racing at Zolder then for 30 laps. And we have Alex Sedgwick at the front of the field, ready to lead these guys away. The number 9 Vertex Esports car has been doing great this season. He's done an awesome job running the championship and leading it at the moment. Ben Crane is going to be there to put him under pressure though. These are the 2 race winners this season. The only 2 in the first 3 races. But it's time to shut the music up and let the cars do the talking then. Alex Sedgwick leads the field round the final corner. Ben's crept in front a bit and he floors it and he's away. It's a great run as well. Aaron Smith has gone with him and that whole right-hand side has really benefited from a good run. Brian Crowles goes down to the inside, defends it. Look at Connor Mills down the inside. James Harvey side by side with Dan Rowbottom. He's gone slightly backwards. Ben Creener and Connor Mills side by side in the middle there. And on the left, there he is, the man that I can't pronounce. Oh, Connor's been tapped there by James Harvey. He links together. Oh, and it's he's gone off and he's been tipped the other way. Here is James Harvey, who's made it to 6th place. Guillaume Hesneau's gone off the circuit. Guillaume Hesneau is around on the infield. It looks like he's had contact somewhere as well. Bit of damage on the front of his car. I'm going to call him Free and Signer. But it looked like Free and Signer is the one that lost out in there. There's the number 1 car of Mark Murphy from Turn 4 Motorsport. He's in 18th position, but it's still Alex Sedgwick leading the way. Brian Crowles has gained 3 places in this race so far. He had an awesome start. Aaron Smith and Dan Rowbottom are still where they started. Adam Morgan has gained 4 places at the moment for Sicily Motorsport. Same for Alistair Topley. I said he'd be coming through, and he's definitely started to do that. Into the hairpin for the first time at the end of the lap though. Don't forget Andrew Wong, who started from the pit lane. He's still at the back of the pack. George Tolsma and Ivan Bauman's... Sorry, it's George Tolsma and Jonathan Rex there actually. George down the inside, gets the move done. I think Jonathan might be still keeping the overlap though. And you know what, Jonathan's got a better run out the corner. Ivan Bauman's wants a bit of this as well now, but he has got Freinsteiner just behind him in the 111 car. Very, very bright livery on that. Him and George might have to culminate together for some white and pink racing team. Billy Fletcher and James Harvey just swapping places further up the order. James down the inside in the student motorsport car. Runs a little bit wide. Billy's still got the run. He's going to try and take it all the way around the outside. And he's made it stick by the look of it. Actually, I tell you what, I eat my words. He runs wide out of there. James through on the right-hand side. Into the chicane is going to be interesting. On the brakes, the car's really nosedive through there. Billy Fletcher's in. Scott Jeffs wants a piece of it. Just behind as well, Lewis Courtney and Adam Morgan. I think there might have been a bit of contact. Adam's now under attack from Jason Glenn. And behind them as well, there's contact, I believe, between Alistair Topley and Guillaume Hesneau, who is now lining up a move on Justin Niger. Down the inside goes Guillaume. He's flying. So close between all these boys. Oh, Andrew Wong's gone off track. What's happened here for Andrew? He's obviously done it all on his own. Into the chicane he goes. Oh, the car just gets away from him in the chicane. Oh, it does hit the wall ever so gently. But it's Alex Sedgwick still leading the way from Brian Crowles. And then Aaron Smith is in 3rd position with Ben Creener just behind. Closest 2 cars on track at the moment, Liam Silkstone and Jeff Hooper, although behind them, Gil Linster and Rene Hugenhout are coming close together as well. Here's Scott Jeffs in between Lewis Courtney and James Harvey. On to lap 3 of 30. Like I said earlier, these guys really have to think about tyre wear over the course of this race. Oh, Mark Murphy's had a bit of an issue. He's dropped a few places. On his left-hand side there goes Hugenhout. That was close. Oh, Rene's gone off. Rene goes off onto the gravel. He snatches a break and around it goes. George Tolsma has also had a bit of contact somewhere and dropped a little bit further down. I think Ivan and George had a bit of a coming together. They were actually on their own at the end of that lap. I'm not quite sure what happened with Freyensiner. Oh, there's contact there. Only slight contact. But that's what dropped George Tolsma down the order slightly. Closest cars on track at the moment are Lewis Corton and Jason Glenn. Jay's just in the background there in the Tech 55 Motorsport car, just outside of the top 10. But it's Alex Sedgwick still leading this race. Brian Crowles, though, right behind him here. We'll go on board with Brian just to show you the chase. You can see the cars just trying to twitch and get away from them ever so slightly. They just want to get on the power as soon as they can. It's not that easy, I tell you. It really isn't that easy. Got a great battle going on here between Justin Niger, Gil Linster. Oh, just goes to go down the inside in the 44. Doesn't quite make it. Jeff Hooper's just behind this here in the E30 Motorsports car. There's some gazebos. It's one of the only things about the cameras that we get on iRacing at Zolder. Whenever you edit them, if you ever move them around, they're always obstructed one way or another. James Harvey has lost a bit of time to Connor Mills. Actually, he's gained time on Billy Fletcher, sorry. Looked like he'd slowed down a bit, not quite sure what caused it. Oh, Billy just goes straight on and gets the slowdown penalty. Back to the live action though, and James now, tiny bit of damage on that car from the contact earlier, but he has got 6.8 seconds to Connor Mills in front, so a bit of a divide in the field there. We'll show you the gap between everybody. 25 seconds covering the top 20. Three seconds covering the top 5. And just so you've got the divide in the cars, first Toyota is actually James at the moment, in 7th place, with Scott Jeffs in 9th. Seems that the Ford and the Chevrolet are the cars to be in this season. Oh, Guillaume Hesno's gone off. What's happened there? Over the curbs he goes. He's lucky he's got quite a gap back to Justin. Let's have a quick check what happened to Guillaume Hesno. Oh, just a bit too hot in there. George Tolsma also had an issue. He's gone off the circuit. Onto the brakes, into the chicane. Oh, just too hot. Locks up a brake. And goes straight on. So this lead battle, I've noticed, does keep getting smaller between these two. Brian Crowles is just putting the pressure on. Thank you very much, Patrick, for your comments on the commentary. Much appreciated. It is a great race so far, isn't it, Jack? Jack Werrell there in the YouTube chat. It is a good race so far, and we are only 3 laps in. This is Adam Morgan for Sicily Motorsport, chasing down Lewis Corton. Oh, we've had a car drop down the order. Jeff Hooper. Jeff's had a nightmare. Down at the hairpin. Right behind him, he's got Freyensiner. Oh, he just gets late on the brakes, gives him a massive smack in the rear. Actually breaks Marcel's car at the front. Really damages it. Struggles to get it back in gear. That's a real shame for those boys. Aaron Smith is only just in front of Ben Kriener now in these 2 Chevys. Oh, we've got another issue. Liam Silkstone has gone off the circuit and come back on at turn 1. But we do have to go looking back at this. You can see the divide of the cars on the track. Look at this. Look at the spread of the field already as Aaron Smith goes a bit deep into the Villeneuve chicane. You've got to think cars will definitely be getting lapped in this one. We're only 1/5 of the way through the race, and he goes down the inside, does Ben Kriener. and takes the place. Up onto the podium spots now then. Dan Rowbottom there just behind in the background. He's after a more successful race this time. He's had a bit of a rough and tumble season so far, but we go on board with the British touring car driver. Onto the brakes. It's a bit different to his Mercedes A-Class, is the Ford Mustang Xfinity car. Seems like he's got an alright run out the final corner there. Into turn 1. It's so easy to just try and be later on the brakes than the guy in front and make a mistake and go straight on. These cars, of course, no ABS. Oh, Liam Silkstone has come to strife again. What's happened to Liam? Into the hairpin. Is he going to clip the grass on the right? Nope. Oh, just as he turns in, it just loops itself. Does a good job of getting on the power, and I tell you what, he styled that out very, very well. Very, very nicely styled out there by Liam Silkstone. Couple of, well, my tradition is to put clap emojis in chat, so if some of you could put some clap emojis for Liam, please, that would be absolutely brilliant. Here's Scott Jeffs just ahead of Lewis Corton. These two actually where they started at the moment. Neither of them have gained or lost positions. It's the cars around them that have moved. Biggest mover in the field at the moment is actually Gil Linster. He's gained 9 spots up to 16th place. Chuck those details up on the left hand side for you so you can see just how people have moved around. Scott Jeffs in a very bold livery. We're not going to miss that one with the big purple front end on it and the big strikes down the side of it. But Lewis is really putting him under pressure here, and he actually manages to get an overlap into the hairpin. Stays on his right. Scott gives him only the room he needs. Well, Lewis blinking in and out a little bit there. Reappears on the right-hand side. Adam Morgan's going to be a bit worried at this point. He's going to think, where is he? It's like a smoke screen. But Adam, not too worried about that. They're actually side by side again now, Lewis and Scott. Scott has the inside line. Lewis turns in very committed. Maybe a little bit too early. Lights up the rears on exit. You can see the driver soaring at the wheel as well. Always locks up a brake again as well. Nearly goes into the back of Scott Jeffs. Adam Morgan wants a bit of contact, and he's around. Oh, it was the tiniest of touches from Adam Morgan. You would have thought he'd get away with that. Lewis spins the car back around, gets it on the circuit, and away he goes. But unfortunately, not enough. We'll take another look at it. Just runs wide. Adam goes down the inside, runs a little bit wider than he was expecting. The tiniest of taps just really unsettles the car for Lewis. And unfortunately, that's the end of that. Just behind here is Gil Linster and Guillaume has no. Oh, Guillaume just couldn't really go anywhere there. And oh, Gil Linster's gone over the chicane, and Justin Niger's gone straight into Guillaume Hesno there. Didn't have to happen, boys. Let's see it from Justin's point of view. Oh, you can see Gil late on the brakes down the inside, really chucks it in. He clears him, and then suddenly there's Guillaume Hesno side by side, well, sideways across the circuit. We've also had René Hugenhout just go off the track as well. It's all kicking off now, boys. This is just after the incident. After he made it away, Guillaume Hesno there in the damaged car behind him. Oh, René's just gone straight on. He's gone, look, I can lock it up on the brakes into a chicane as well. Just watch. Billy Fletcher has got past James Harvey again here. Apologies for all the replays, but every replay we do, we miss something else. Billy just gets a nice run out of the final corner. Oh, switches over to the inside. He knows where he wants to be. Down the inside, nicely done. Thank you very much, Adam. And thank you very much, Joel, for the comments. Much appreciated. Let's have a look at our lead battle, shall we? Alex Sedgwick only just leading the way from Brian Crowles. I know that Brian's got a fan club in here. Oh, Billy's just gone off the circuit and come back on. I think he's had a bit of an issue. But yeah, I know that Brian has a great following. All the YouTube chats, the Facebook chats, everybody loves him for Brex Racing. You can just hear how they keep the car in such a high gear. The traction is just so low. They don't want to be over revving the thing into the final couple of corners then in the chicane. You can just see the car does not want to turn. Oh, Brian's got a really good run out of there, you know. He's done a cracking job chasing Alex down the straight. These cars not too shy for slipstreaming. Thank you very much, Cora. Much appreciated. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know who you think is going to win the race, how you think it's going to unfold, and what you reckon these guys will be thinking at this point. Out from behind the gazebos. Don't count out Ben Kriener here. Ben is just running his own race at the moment. He's got clear air between him and Brian Crowles. I say that, he's only half a second behind, but he wants to get in on this fight but not cause too much of a scene with it because, well, Crowles is causing a bit of a scene with that curb though. I'll tell you what, Ben is really closing up now, isn't he? Look at it, the gap has just visually disappeared. Got Callum Grips in the chat saying, fire him, Brian. He wants to see Cedric's car turned around. I can't say I share the same view, neither does the race director. But people just want the entertainment. So Ben Kriener now third place, right on the back of this battle. Dan Rowbottom has got past Aaron Smith in the background as well. We'll just have a little look back at how this happened. This is a couple of laps ago. Dan just opens the door and Aaron gives him all of the room in the world. Oh, Ben's gone in the pits and gone in very early. I was told that the tyres would go off after about 10 or 11 laps, so Ben's going to go for the undercut here. He's caught the guys in front and thought, I'm not going to fight with them. I'm not going to lose time battling behind them. That was Connor Mills just going through. He's in 5th place at the moment. But Ben Kriener, the first car to pit tonight. And whether that will be an inspired decision or a bad decision is yet to be seen. Adam Morgan doing the same as well. Oh, we've got Jonathan Rex off the circuit in the 62. Comes back on, hopefully not too dangerously. He tries to get out of people's way. Let's have a look what happens, Jonathan. Into the hairpin. He's got Justin Niger behind him. Into the hairpin he goes. Oh, there's a car around in front. Oh, that was the number 1. That was Mark Murphy. And then, oh, he loses it as he gets back on. Adam Morgan came in the pit lane. He's taking tyres and he'll be back out. Ben Kriener has come out in 13th place. He's got 6 seconds back to Justin Niger and a second ahead to Gil Linster. So he's in a good bit of clear air now, which is what he'll want. But it's not what Alex Sedgwick and Brian Crowles will want. Wow, Brian, look at that. Style points on the exit there for Brian Crowles. Love it. Lights up the rears, makes it look normal. These cars, of course, a lot of power. Over 600 brake horsepower. I think they're about 650 brake horsepower. So they don't half shift. That's George Tolsma in there. And Adam Morgan has been in the pits for a very, very long time. Freienstein is out of the race, by the way, as well. Not sure what Adam Morgan's got going on there. Jonathan Rex is making himself reacquainted with the gravel traps. George Tolsman's just had an issue. This is my curse, you see, on these broadcasts. I look at a driver, and as soon as I look away, they have an incident. Let's have a look what happened with George. Oh, Dan goes in. George was very slow on the apex of the corner. And unfortunately, gets tapped and goes around. Let's have a look at what happened to Jonathan Rex. It's down into the Villeneuve chicane. Very difficult part of the track because you're going round a corner trying to get it slowed down to then get it to go right. Is he going to just snatch a brake? Yep, there it goes. Oh, and it spins the car. Does a good job so it doesn't go deeper into the gravel. Struggles to get it back in gear. Here is Sedgwick leading the way. The sun's gone in now, so maybe for these boys with the track being a slight bit cooler as the temperature drops a little bit, they could restore a little bit of grip. At the final corner again. On to lap 13 of 30, nearly at the halfway point of this race already. It's coming around very, very quickly. Adam Morgan has just left the pit lane, but he's now down in 24th place. No, for some reason it's showing me that he's only just left the pit lane, but that's clearly a lie because, well, he's just coming to the entrance of the pit lane on the following lap, as you can see. Here's Jason Glenn. He has got Billy Fletcher just behind him there. In car 88, position 8 at the moment for Billy Fletcher. Into the pits comes Gil Linster for TGS competition. You can see the field streaming past on the left-hand side. Ben Kriener is in 12th position overall now. He's got 2.3 seconds to Lewis Corton, but 13, nearly 14 seconds back to Justin Niger. And we've got Bowmans and Andrew Wong having a scrap here. René Hugenhout's involved in this as well. Guillaume Hesno and Mark Murphy are also in the pit lane. This is the battle for 14th, 15th, 16th position. And look at that, Jeff Hooper has got Andrew Wong right behind him. So never mind 15th, 16th as well. It's 17th place too. Side by side in the chicane, bit of contact. I don't know where Andrew was expecting Jeff to go there, but out of the way was probably the answer. And yeah, Ivan is doing well actually, up to 15th place now. He's gained 4 positions so far. Alistair Topley's gained 8 places. Oh, Jeff Hooper and Andrew Wong both went off the circuit temporarily there. They've managed to keep going. Andrew a bit quicker through there actually. I think he's giving him the position back or something, whether this is a scrap that we're watching unfold. Side by side into the hairpin. Andrew moves across on the brakes. Stays where he is, lights up the rears, bounces it over the curb. No issue though on the exit. Now Ben Kriener is an interesting one to watch. He's catching up to Lewis Corton now. He's going to have the grip on these fresher tyres. Lewis Corton's car has been on those tyres for 14 laps. Ben's only been on them for 4. And you can just see the difference. I mean, Ben has overtaken him, gained 0.6 of a second. We'll see how he does on the exit of here. There's George Tolsma on the outside. George has been overtaken by Adam Morgan, who is just a corner ahead here, number 17. But Alex Cedric's lead is only half a second at the moment. And Ivan Bowmans is now up to 14th place, gaining 5. Ben Kriener is into 11th, but Brian Crowles is all over the back of Alex Cedric now, and that is Guillaume Hesno in there with them. He's a lap down at the moment, is Guillaume. Connor Mills has come in the pit lane, as you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen there. Be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Ben Kriener. Jason Glenn also in the pit lane. Just trying to keep an eye out for anyone else that's coming in. Alistair Topley has gained 8 places so far into 10th. He's coming in the pit lane now as well. Oh, Lewis Corton is off the track, doing a bit of Paris-Dakar there. Saying, look, Mum, I'm a rallycross driver. Across the line he goes then. Ben Kriener has already gone past Connor Mills. And Connor's not even on the pit exit yet. Oh, René Hugenhout's had an issue as well. What's happened here? Oh, there's contact in the background there. Was that Andrew Wong and Jeff Hooper having another domestic? Honestly, these two need to send each other a love letter or something. Oh. Looked like a pretty big shove there from Andrew Wong. Oh, we just caught the end of it. We're not going to be able to see the full thing, but hopefully nothing intentional. We don't want to be seeing that. We know incidents happen though. Fingers crossed we don't see anything too naughty. But Ben Kriener is now 2 places ahead of Connor Mills. He's actually 17 seconds ahead of him. The gap wasn't that big when he came in, so it looks like getting the fresher tyres earlier has worked out for Ben Kriener here. Aaron Smith is just nipping into the pit lane, so that means Dan Rowbottom has gone up to 3rd place. Dan having a much better run this time than he did at Daytona, where, fun fact, his team manager managed to kick him out of the session by accident. Sorry, Rob. Rob, of course, the sponsor of the race tonight, Luxsim24. So he's hoping that one of his drivers will have a much better meeting. It looks like Ben Kriener's doing all right at the moment. So too is Billy Fletcher and Dan Rowbottom. Here is Kriener now up to 7th place. James Harvey's only just got into his pit box as well, and Ben's already gone through, so it looks like it's been a great decision from Kriener. Sedgwick and Crowles are still making these tyres last. Lap 16 out of 30, now over halfway through. What do we reckon? Are we going to see Ben pit again, do you reckon? Because he's 35 seconds off the lead at the moment. But a pit stop is about, well, the entire pit lane time is 50 seconds, coming in and then getting out, including a 14-second, sort of 15-second pit stop. So if the guy's at the front pit now, Ben will be about 15 seconds in the lead. But he'd have to work up a hell of a gap to make it so he can pit again. We'll have to see. Dan Rowbottom in the pit lane now, in the number 32 Luxsim Esports with Cataclean car. Here's his teammate Billy Fletcher. Billy now into 4th place. Is he going to come in the pits as well? No, he's going to make those tyres scream blue murder for another lap. Jeff Hooper's in the pit lane after a bit of a rough and tumble race with Andrew Wong at the moment, who is in 12th. Oh, actually, Jeff's gone straight. Oh, actually, he's finished his pit stop and come out. Sorry, I thought he was just coming in. Apologies. Here's Ben Kriener just chasing down. That is Adam Morgan that he's just gone down the inside of. Into turn 1. Adam still a lap down at the moment. He's in 22nd place. Car ahead is Jeff Hooper, who's 9 seconds up the road now. We just saw him come out of the pit lane. Scott Jeffs into the pits. Dan Rowbottom's just come out. And Ben Kriener has already gone quite a distance away. Let's have a look what's happened to Lewis Corton. He's had an issue. Car isn't behaving itself for Lewis tonight. The grip has definitely gone. These tyres are dying. Oh, he gets on the throttle. Wow, just as he clips the grass. Oh, he does hit the wall pretty hard. I was just about to say, I reckon he almost kept that out of the wall then, but just not quite. Oh, Ivan Bauman's. Ivan was being watched by so many as he climbed up the order. Oh, he's pretty much stopped the car. He thought, where's this pit entrance? It's easy to do. The race leaders are in. The race leaders are in the pit lane. I wonder what we can see then from this battle that these guys have been having. Alex Sedgwick leads, Brian Crowell's in. Ben Kriener is someone to watch because he's only 7 seconds down now and he's coming down the start-finish straight, and these guys have only just started pitting. Billy Fletcher takes the race lead. Amazing stuff from Ben Kriener then to be up into 2nd place already. You can just see how narrow this track gets at points. It goes really wide and then really thin again. It's pretty mad, really. Over the crest, there's so many hills and things. Undulations, as they call them. Ben pretty much launching the car off the ground through there over the crest. Onto the brakes, into the chicane once more. There is, of course, a great cause behind all of this as well, don't forget. There is a Just Giving page, which has been posted in the Vertex Esports YouTube chat from Adam Owen. You can just see that all of the proceeds from this championship will be going to trying to buy members of the NHS or workers in the NHS a personalised gift, just to say thank you for everything they're doing through this tough time that we're all going through. Ben just getting held up a bit by traffic there. That's Jonathan Rex in the 62. But Billy Fletcher holding on to this race. But if you can, please do give to the fantastic cause that these guys are backing at the moment. Any donation will be much appreciated, I'm sure. It's great to be able to bring such a great cause with such fantastic entertainment. I hope you're all enjoying the stream anyway. Any feedback, let us know. And let us know who you want to see win this race. Keeping our eye on Billy Fletcher at the moment, race leader in the number 88. It's a Luxsim24 at the moment. Alex Sedgwick has got 3.5 seconds over Brian Crowles at the moment. Ten laps to go. But Ben Crean is only 6 seconds up the road from Alex Sedgwick. There may be traffic between them, but that's not going to slow Alex down too much. But Ben's got to do another 10 laps on these tyres. It's going to be definitely a tough one. It's a big ask to get them to the end. Jason Glenn and James Harvey are close together. This is for 8th and 9th place. Oh, James squirreling the car around over the apex of the left-hander there. Just as it goes over the crest, it wants to break away from you. Into the final chicane they go. Mark Murphy and Justin Niger are close together a bit further down the order. Mark Murphy in the number 1 GoDaddy liveried Turn 4 motorsport car. Oh, he gets on the throttle a bit early, and there is the commentator's curse for you. Off the circuit he goes. Gets it back on though. Still wobbling around a lot. He's either got dirt on the tyres or overheated the rears. Into the Villeneuve chicane for a bit of a bumpy ride. Alex there going through the chicane. That's Adam Morgan just behind him. Over the crest of the hill. The gap to Ben Creaner is now 4.7 seconds. There is Ben just exiting the Villeneuve chicane. Ben will have his eye on the relative box, which you have in the right-hand side of your screen on iRacing, or most people have it on the right anyway. You can see the gap to the cars around you, and he will see Alex Sedgwick is closing. He's got Jeff Hooper just in front now. The next bit of lap traffic to try and get past. Billy Fletcher's just 2.3 seconds up the road there. He's just going past Liam Silkstone. Here he is. And this is going to be a pit stop then for Billy Fletcher. You've got to hope that these boys have been practicing the pit entrances, because it's not the most straightforward of ways in. Onto the brakes then. Ben Creaner is going to go through and take the lead of the race. And what a great job he's doing so far. Billy then not even in the pit box yet. He's dropped down to 6th position. Connor Mills is the next up. There he goes. Connor is one of the under-the-radar performers of the evening so far. Just have a look at the left-hand side of your screen. You'll see the gains. Mark Murphy's actually gained 9 places. He's the biggest mover in the field. Alistair Topley has gained 7 as things stand. But yeah, Alex is definitely closing the gap to Ben. It's now 2.9 seconds for the race lead. So we should see Alex get onto the back of him very, very soon. Of course, Alex and Ben are the only 2 drivers this season to have won a race. Alex won rounds 1 and 3, and then Ben won at Brands Hatch at the Indy circuit after an amazing, I believe we did 66 laps in the end, maybe 64. Down the inside of Liam Silkstone there. Dispatches of 2 bits of lap traffic very well. But that's Ben just in the foreground there. Just at the near side of your shot. And there is Alex. The gap is 3.2 seconds. Now Alex has had to get out of it a little bit to get past the lap traffic. There he goes onto the straight once again. And I will give you the gap between everybody on the left-hand side. You'll see it there. That is the overall gap. So Cedric, as you can see, oh, he was 2.8 seconds behind there, and it's just gone up a little bit and then back down again. It will fluctuate quite a lot from each corner. Show you the track map just so you can see the field is quite spread out now. There's a bit of a train around 4th place here, Brian Crowles. There's a bit of lap traffic around him as he goes behind the gazebos once again. Apologies for that camera angle. Oh, Mark Murphy's had another issue. After me saying, here he is. Oh, excuse me. Here he goes. Oh, what's happened? There he goes. Oh, he gets a hit in the rear from Andrew Wong. I've not a clue what's happened to Mark Murphy there. He's just decided to put it in the wall. Seemed like the car might have run out of fuel or something, and then he kicked off or something. I can't really explain that one, sorry. But Ben Kriener into the hairpin once more. Lap 22 out of 30. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be hoping that Alex's tyres die off just as much as his had. But we'll have to see. You will see lap time show up on the left-hand side now. Apologies for not showing that earlier. Oh, Brian Crowles has gone straight onto the hairpin. He's not lost position from it, though. But it's far from ideal. And what I want to do, I did guys, say to him beforehand. Oh, here he is. Here he is. I did say to him beforehand that I was going to speak to some people during the race. I don't think he expected me to jump on him. Are you going to catch him, Alex? Do you reckon you're going to get him?
Working on it. I've got better tyres, so I'm just hoping that, you know, the good bit of the tyres lasts until I can get to him, which is a bit borderline at the moment, but I'm going to try.
What do you reckon to the strategy that Ben's pulled in this one? Do you reckon it's a masterstroke, or do you reckon he's sort of screwed himself over with having to do so many laps on these tyres?
I'll let you know when I get to him. I think it's a good move to get some track position, but it just depends, obviously, how long he can hold on for.
Well, we'll have to see, mate. We'll leave you back to it, but best of luck for the rest of the race, Alex.
Cheers, mate.
Alex Cedric there, the second place driver at the moment in the number 9 Vertex Esports car, chasing down race leader Ben Kriener. Aaron Smith is in 4th place at the moment, wiggling that car over the crest of the hill. He's just 1 second behind Brian Crowles as things stand. And then we've got James Harvey just chasing down Jason Glenn just in front. Trying to see who we've got available to us to have another chat with. We've got Billy Fletcher in 9th at the moment. He's got 3.5 seconds. We'll drag him in very, very quickly for a chat, and we'll see what we can find out. Billy, just a quick one, mate. How do you think it's going so far? Were you expecting to drop that far down from the pit stop?
No, mate. This was part of the plan. Coming in at the end of the run with some fresh tyres.
And do you reckon you're going to gain another few places? I mean, not far ahead, James Harvey and Jason Glenn. What do you reckon?
Oh, I'll tell you now, bud, I am trying my hardest to catch a pair of them.
Certainly looks like it, mate. I'll leave you to it, though. Best of luck. Oh, it looks like we might have put him off a bit there. We we were told that we could go in and have a chat with some of them beforehand. Not sure if Billy will be too impressed with me there as he locks a break into turn 1. Lewis Corton's had an issue a bit further down the order. Oh, he's really not going well over that crest of the hill tonight, is he? Soaring away into the hairpin. Oh, just locks it up too late. The rears get on the gravel. Styles it out. Yes, love it. Some more clap emojis in chat, please, for Lewis Corton's beautiful little donut there. Callum Cripps says, ever heard an in-race interview with a driver? Now you have. Rennie Hugenhauer here is right behind Jonathan Rex in the 82 and 62 car. This battle's still going on. Liam Silkstone and Adam Morgan have just swapped places behind as well. The British touring car driver not having the smoothest of evenings tonight. And Adam's coming back in the pits here, actually. Not sure whether it's just another pit stop for Adam or whether he's had an issue. Oh, we've got Liam Silkstone off the track and in the wall. Is that car wedged? Looks to me like it's wedged in the wall. That looks like it's going to be Liam Silkstone's race over. Let's see what happened. Oh, he just loops it into turn 1 on the throttle. Oh, the car's wedged itself. Look, it's like latched itself onto the wall. Nightmare for Liam Silkstone. And here is the race lead battle that we all wanted to see then. Ben Creaner with Alex Sedgwick right behind him now. The gap is displayed as 1/10 of a second, less than that. They're equal into the hairpin. Alex runs a little bit deep. You can see the brake discs glowing. The rears are going to be glowing at any point soon. 5 laps to go, and this race for the lead has just come alive. We'll go on board with Alex Sedgwick, see what it looks like from here, from his point of view. Ben's tyres, of course, quite a bit older. Alex said that he was hoping to be right behind him on some more fresh rubber, and he hoped it would last, and it's definitely worked. So now it's time to put the pressure on and see what he can do. Look at the mid-corner speed that Alex can carry. Looks down the inside. He's just trying to put the pressure on at the moment. It's all about mind games. Oh, Jonathan Rex has had an issue. He's gone off. He's gone off out of the final corner. I think he may have just lit it up, unfortunately. Down the inside goes Sedgwick. Has a look. Aggressive look down the inside on Ben Creaner, but still nothing doing. Brian Crowles is 6 seconds back from this, so if anything happens, he could try and take advantage. Just in front there is Andrew Wong going through the chicane. Is he going to make life hard for these boys? You'd hope not. Over the crest of the hill, lap 26, down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Onto the brakes they go. It looked like Ben was looking down the inside there to get past Andrew, but he's not close enough. You see the gaps on the left-hand side of your screen. Oh, Alex has just got the nose down the inside, takes plenty of curb. He had to get on the brakes there, I think. Slides the car sideways. You can see Brian is ever getting closer to these boys. Just sneaking up on them. Sun goes in again. Maybe the track cools down a bit too much curb there for Alex. Chucks the rear end out. They look like they're floating along down there, don't they, with pick up the front end because of how soft these guys have got the car set up. Oh, Alex blinking in and out a little bit there. Doesn't want any of that. But Ben Creaner still your race leader. A bit further down the order, Billy Fletcher is on the back of James Harvey now. We did ask him a moment ago whether he would be. He says it's part of the plan that he's on fresh rubber, and it seems to be working for him. He goes past Jonathan Rex there in the 62 car. Jonathan in 19th place overall. He's gained 4 places so far. So gaining places from where you start is always a good thing. The gap to the lead now 0.3 of a second between Sedgwick and Creaner. Oh, I think James Harvey went off there, and he did. Look, Billy Fletcher's got the run, and Billy goes straight through. Down the straight. Gets rid of the overlap as well, and up into 8th place in car number 8 once again. Now Billy's going to be hoping that he can disappear now on the fresh rubber and go chasing after Jason Glenn, who is only there actually. He's only 1.7 seconds ahead. But then it's 16 seconds to Connor Mills. That looked like a bit of a sideways Jason Glenn there as well. Billy really going to be closing in. We'll look back at the lead battle though, through the Villeneuve chicane again. Lap 27 out of 30. Ben Creaner stepping the rear end out. Alex copies him. The chase is definitely on. On the brakes, through the right-hander. They're wiggling around all over the place as they just try and get any sort of advantage over each other. I once had a friend ask me why the brake lights don't work on these cars. I didn't bother answering him. But Alex is really putting the pressure on now. Ben defends the inside. Whether Alex can carry the speed around the outside or not. Look at the car's nose diving on the brakes. He's given everything synchronized, sliding through turn 1. And the Vertex car around the outside. He's going to try and get the cutback on Creaner. Gets on the power though. Oversteer central from Alex Sedgwick. Just down the inside again, is all over the shop. He's really throwing everything at it now, is Alex Sedgwick. The gap back to Brian Crowles, well there he is in the background, 3.6 seconds now. Side by side into the chicane. Flames spitting everywhere from both cars. They both take it easy. Ben gets quite a lot of curb on the exit. The gap now 3.1 seconds to Brian Crowles. There he is. And Aaron Smith as well coming with him. They're both closing in with 2 laps to go after this. Alex has tried it into the Villeneuve chicane. Nothing doing. Maybe Ben might have cut the corner a bit there. Hopefully not. He doesn't get a slowdown penalty for it by the look of it. Alex is all over the back of him, trying to bump draft him almost. Down towards the hairpin. What a great scrap we've got here. Alex round the outside, late on the brakes, into the hairpin. Can he make it work? He's still got the overlap. Still side by side on the exit. Just sneaks in front, does Kriener. This is amazing racing between these boys. You'd think these were like normal everyday tin top touring cars the way they're racing. Side by side into the chicane. Contact. Cedric goes off. He's going to get a slowdown penalty for that, surely. Or does he? Because he slowed down quite a bit from the contact. Brian Krause is just there in 3rd place. He's only a second back now from Alex Cedric. 1.6 seconds off the lead with 2 laps to go. But Ben Kriener still holds on to the lead of this race in the Luxsim24 esports car. Alex Cedric only 4/10 back. Oh, Billy Fletcher's just gone off the track in the chicane and come back on. He's got Jason Glenn right behind him now. These boys side by side down the straight. Is Jason going to get the better of him? Onto the brakes into turn 1. Billy's got fresher rubber though. He's going to be able to put the power down a bit better and get some better mid-corner speed. Onto the brakes. Looks like Billy's held the place. Back to the front though. Alex is still trying it again into the Villeneuve chicane. Doesn't work. It's deja vu. He's cut quite a lot of the curb there. Hope he doesn't lose out. Brian Crowles is really in this fight now as well. 1 lap to go after this. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. This is amazing racing from these guys. Absolutely incredible. Oh, Alex has gone sideways on the brakes. They're all over the place. Somehow neither of them go off, but Brian Crowles is going to sneak through. The Belgian goes up into 2nd place. Alex was just out of shape on the brakes there. Nearly took Ben with him. I bet it's not just the sides of Ben's car that's brown at the moment. I know it's meant to be probably gold, but let's face it, it's probably brown now anyway. Brian, though, well, what is Mr. Crowles going to do? Is he finally going to get his win? Is his fan club going to rejoice in the YouTube and Facebook chats we have going on? White flag in the air, 1 more to go. They're lighting up the rears as best they can. Trying to just maximise the traction. Brian has got much fresher tyres than Ben Kriener. This is a great scrap for the lead. Into 2nd place then. Can he hold off Alex Cedric though? Alex is very, very racy behind him. He's going to give his teammate a push. Brian is actually a mechanic for Alex in real life. They're going to be side by side into the chicane. So close together. Brian's going to just try and maximise the run out of there, surely down to the Villeneuve chicane. Alex gets a bit out of shape and loses out. Aaron Smith is just behind this as well. Here he is. Doesn't look like he can do much at the moment. Or Ben might have just snatched a break into Villeneuve. Alex blinking in and out a little bit there. Brian's nearly got the overlap, you know. I thought he was just going to make contact there. The 2 cars nearly overlapping. 3 corners to go then. Kriener still leads the race. Crowles on the outside. Back end steps out on the brakes. He's really carried some good speed in there. He's going to have the overlap on the exit. There is contact. He's still on the outside. There are 3 wide almost. Cedric goes through back into 2nd place. Kriener very, very elbows out stuff now. Into the final chicane. Cedric swaps lines, gives him a tap. He's sideways. Is he completely around? He's over the chicane. Oh, and he is around. Cedric goes through. Crowles lights up the rears. Alex Cedric is going to take the win. I'm not sure what the race director's going to say about it. Alex Cedric wins at Zolder. Wow, what a race. Aaron Smith manages to grab the podium. Ben Kriener comes home in 4th, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was rather annoyed with that one. Dan Rowbottom there finishing in 5th place overall. There's your race winner, Alex Cedric, for now. Brian Crowles, amazing battle there. It's come into 2nd place. Let's just have a look at what happened. This was the lap before. Alex just moves over slightly on the right. I think he was expecting the car to move on the brakes. That was just amazing, amazing stuff between all these guys there. Brian did a great job to get through though. Unfortunately only second in the end, but Ben really got his elbows out. But there is your eventual race winner. Got a couple of guys still just completing a lap. Guillaume Hesno is just about to come across the line and take 13th place. Justin Niger is going to be the last car to take the flag for stage 1 racing in the number 77. But what a fantastic race. We'll have driver interviews in a moment. Speak to some of them, see what they think. Across the line goes Justin Niger. And here are your race results then. Alex Sedgwick does not take the win. Alex Sedgwick gets a penalty at the end of that one. Brian Crowells takes the win, everybody. There you go. Brian Crowells classified as the race winner, with Aaron Smith second. Ben Kriener gets a podium for it. Dan Rowbottom finishes 4th with Connor Mills in 5th. Billy Fletcher in 6th with Jace Glenn in 7th. James Harvey 9th. Scott Jeffs in 10th place, and Alistair Topley rounds out your top 10. Alex Sedgwick then finishes in 11th place with Lewis Corton in 12th. Guillaume Hesno is 13th with Justin Niger in 14th. And then we have Andrew Wong in 15th, Jeff Hooper in 16th, Rennie Hugenhout in 17th, and Jonathan Rex in 18th position. Behind him is Ivan Bowmans in 19th, Gil Linster in 20th, and then Adam Morgan 1 lap down in 21st. George Tolsma 2 laps down. Liam Silkstone, unfortunately, after that incident, was 7 laps down with Mark Murphy 11. And then Friesen, I still can't say his name, Friesen Signer in 25th. But what an amazing race. There is your race winner. There is your race winner, Brian Crowells. He's going to surely light it up. Yes, he does. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff to see. We'll be hoping for, I'll tell you what, we'll bring him straight in now, actually. Brian, you've done it, mate. I bet you're over the moon with that.
Oh, mate, this is more than redemption for Brands Hatch, I'll tell you what.
I bet you're enjoying that one. What did you think going through those last few laps? Because that looked very, very dicey indeed as you got around those last few corners, and obviously just chasing the guys in front battling. It looked amazing.
I mean, the pace was there all race. I was trying to conserve some tires in case I had to make a move or defend from behind. At the end, I got caught up because I think Alex was fighting with Kriener at the end because his tires were much older than mine. And I thought, hell, I might as well try it. And then I saw them both slide into the hairpin, so I took my shot. And then unfortunately, I got kind of ran wide at the end, but turned out all right, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. The penalty, of course, for Alex at the end being applied. It was a bit of a late move. What were your thoughts on that send up the inside in the chicane?
I mean, there was 4 of us on old tires trying to win the race, so I guess it was a now or never kind of move. Mm-hmm. Which, honest, if I were second, I would have done it as well. But yeah, I didn't have to.
Well, yeah, it sort of presented itself to you in the end. What's it like driving these cars around this track? Because it's a very narrow and sort of, it's quite a slow pace track in most corners. Is it difficult to get these things round, or is it a hell of a lot of fun?
I think it's a lot of fun driving these things around this track because of, you say, the variety of it. You need to be able to stuff it through slow corners, fast corners. I think these cars have a lot of fun around this track, which is, of course, my home track, so I'm so excited. I
was going to say, it must be extra special with it being your home race in this series as well, so it's great to see it, mate. Very, very pleased for you. Is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to before I let you go tonight?
Yeah, obviously. First off, I want to thank Brax for letting me drive a car with their sponsorship on the side and letting me do everything that I can do. Alex for setting this up. And all of the supporters out there in the chat, they're there every weekend, so can't do it without.
Yeah, you certainly have a big following on YouTube, mate, and you're going to make a lot of people happy with that win. Of course, yourself mainly. Very, very pleased for you, mate. Well done, and we'll see you next time round.
Definitely will. Take care.
Cheers. Brian Crowells there finally gets his win. Finally gets his win. Sure, he'll be very, very pleased with that. Someone that did pop in very briefly after quite an up and down race was Ivan Bowmans. Ivan joins me in the chat. How are we doing, buddy? Don't quite think he's there, actually. Are you there, Ivan? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Can't really hear him. We'll go for a bit of a controversial one. We'll bring in Mr. Cedric himself. Alex, that battle at the end was amazing, wasn't it, mate? No matter what the outcome, it was a hell of a good scrap.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, obviously we spoke in the race, and the big question was, you know, I thought I could get to him, but it was a case of would I still have some tyres when I did, and I think for the first lap or so when I got to his bumper, it was you know, that was go time, and if I could get past then, I think I might have been able to pull a bit of a gap, but you know, Ben did a really good job at defending. Yeah, just, you know, everywhere I tried, anything I tried, he had it blocked off, he had it covered, which was, you know, mega impressive. And then obviously on the last lap, you know, hands up, bit of a mistake from my side. I tried to get the crossover, and just had too much rear brake bias in it from the worn tyres, locked the rears a little bit, and you know, yeah, just obviously gave Ben a little tap. So you know, hate it to end that way, but obviously until then, and especially, you know, that very last lap, it's probably a pretty good race to watch.
Oh yeah, the battling at the end was amazing. I just had to keep looking down at my audio levels and make sure I wasn't clipping every time I shouted at it, because it was getting very heated on track and very heated in my my voice box as well. But it was great to watch as always, Alex. Next time, of course, the final round of the championship, and we're going to finally get this rounded out. It's flown by as a series, though, hasn't it? To be honest.
Really, it's yeah, like you say, you know, next week is the last round. Then obviously soon after we're into season 2. So yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago at all that we were obviously all setting this up to start with, and doing the first race at Homestead. And you know, it's been really cool to obviously see people's progression, see people's development, and also, you know, from my side, obviously have some battles with you know, some guys like Ben, for example, that, you know, I'm used to being around in NASCAR, but also, you know, Connor, I raced against him in karting. People like Brian as well. Obviously Brian's a mechanic for Brax in NASCAR normally, and now he's making me try and work out how to stay up to his pace all the time. So yeah, to obviously see people like that, and you know, this race especially, for example, with Brian, it's you know, he's pushing me hard for the start, and only just got him back at the end. So I think it's really cool, obviously the spread of the grid we've got and the mix of the grid we've got, and obviously it creates some really good action. So I think Martinsville should be a good one for the last race. Definitely,
it's going to be a very exciting last round. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, mate, before I let you go?
Sorry to Ben for firing him, first of all. Yeah, not intentional at all, and yeah, you know, a mega race before, so you know, really good job to Ben for defending as long as he did. Great job to Brian, to Aaron. Obviously our top 4, it was, you know, a really close race all the way through pretty much. So yeah, you know, it's obviously well done to everyone involved, but then also, as ever, you know, thank you to obviously yourself, Rob, Mike, Adam, everyone who's you know, been helping us to put it on. And also, obviously, if you've been watching and have an iRacing subscription, season 2 starts at the end of May. You know, come and get involved. We're you know, entries are open if you go to vertex-esports.com. So yeah, make sure you get your entry in, and obviously come join us.
Smashing stuff. Thank you very much, mate. And we will, well, I'll speak to you in a few minutes, but the rest of us will obviously hear from you next time round at Martinsville.
Sounds good. See you later.
Cheers. And we'll bring in the other side of things there. Ben Kreener. Ben, it was a bit of an interesting strategy, mate, to get the pit stop done early. It seemed to pay off until the battle at the end. What were your thoughts on the whole race?
Well, I think, you know, what we saw speaks for itself, mate. But when I was racing with the Euro NASCAR drivers a month ago at Watkins Glen, I did that exact same strategy and found 25 seconds. so I knew that that was always going to work for me. And as soon as I caught up to the back of Brian and Alex after a poor start, I just dived straight into the pits. I wanted some fresh air, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, it certainly looked that way with, you know, you didn't want to get held up in a battle, and it worked for a while, but obviously with the tyres dying, was it difficult to get the car around, or did you sort of get into a bit of a rhythm with coping with it?
I got into a good rhythm of coping with it, but I think that I'd have been able to maybe survive a few more laps without Alex behind me had I had at least one back marker go my way, unfortunately. I think every single one of them, I just caught them at the wrong time, and I ended up losing 2 seconds, which would have usually been 1, but obviously my tyres had given up, so it was just, you know, a very, very frustrating race because I know I could have done that and I should have done that, but it's racing, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. It was certainly an exciting race, mate. You did a good strategy, and it almost paid off until the incident at the end. But still, with a podium out of it, though, it's good for the championship and of course the points. It means another driver finally actually gets a chance to have a win as well as you and Alex. I was saying early on that it was just you and Alex battling at the front, and it was just you guys that were winning the races before now. Going to Martinsville for the final, though, what do you reckon of getting these cars around there? Is it going to be a good laugh? Is it going to be hard work? What do you reckon?
I think you need to ask me that after the race, buddy. I have no idea, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
Smashing. Well, good stuff as always, Ben. Very well done anyway for such a very successful race. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before you go, mate?
Obviously, you know, the organisers put on a good show, and obviously, you know, the guys at Luxsim as well for allowing me to do what I do. I'm pleased that, you know, obviously nobody's annoyed that I've been on the final lap, but you know, those guys are supportive when I need it, so I appreciate them for sticking about. So yeah,
good stuff. Well, good to speak to you as always, Ben. I'll speak to you again soon, mate.
Yeah, but mate.
Cheers. And one final interview to round out the evening. Somebody that I believe I owe an apology to, really. Billy Fletcher joins me in the chat. Bit of an interesting race for you, Billy. I mean, it was quite up and down, some good pace towards the end. How did you find it?
Difficult through lack of practice. My own fault. I didn't really prep very well for that one. But it was really good fun. Great racing with Chaz and Jace. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, you kind of scared the crap out of me when you jumped into the that.
I'm really sorry, mate, honestly. I was told to just grab a few part way through, but just as I went away, I saw you go off at turn 1 and my heart sank, so I am really sorry for that. But apparently it made it interesting from people in the chat. So you contributed to a good cause, mate, and I'm very grateful for that, so thank you. But
it was fine. It was absolutely fine, to be fair. I said it was Dacon's car. It wasn't your fault, that was my fault. It wasn't yours, don't blame yourself.
That's all good, mate, all good. You've been doing really well this season, to be fair. Were you expecting to be as competitive as you are in these cars? I mean, what's your experience like in them?
0. So I've never really driven these sort of cars on I've done a fair bit of oval racing. That's why I sort of felt like I did well at Homestead and Daytona, but I've not done any track racing with them, and they're just a different animal. Absolutely brilliant fun to drive, but you just be so patient. And when I knew I had good tyres for the last 10 laps, I was like, I've got to be patient, but also I want to get on with it. And that's, to be honest, why I made the mistake when you was chatting to me, because I was just over driving and trying to make up as much time as possible on Jace and Chaz.
Yeah, it seemed like around here tonight it was very easy to just try and push the car that little bit more and just make a mistake, whether that be on the throttle or on the brakes. We saw quite a few guys looping it on the brakes tonight. Did you find that the track was a lot more difficult than expected, or were you sort of ready for that sort of challenge?
No, I was ready for it. I remember when we did WGTC here last season. You probably remember it very well, the pile up in the first chicane on the first race.
Oh yeah.
And I was full expecting that to happen. I was really worried about that happening. But no, to be fair, I knew it'd be difficult. I knew you'd have to be patient, smooth. You know, that's why I dragged that in the first stint, see if I could keep the tyres reasonably in check, and then chase after him for the last 10 laps, and it paid off in the end.
Well, it certainly looked good, mate. It was fun to watch, and it's good to see you racking up the points. Anybody that you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
I was thinking shout out to Rob Pearson, Luxsim24, Paul Garden, Sim Stickers, obviously, you know, you guys, yourself, Alex and that, putting on this really good, really interesting series. I'm loving it, and I'm looking forward to the next one, to be fair. I don't really want Martinsville to come, because obviously we know it's going to be our last.
Well, don't forget, Season 2 coming up very soon after, so should be good to run through that.
Already signed up, mate.
Cracking. Good to hear it, mate. Well, we'll see you next time round at Martinsville, but yeah, we'll try and grab you for an interview then, mate. Well done.
Cheers, buddy. Catch you later. Take care.
Cheers. And that does round out the show this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us once again for another round of the Vertex Stock Car Cup. I've been Chaz Draycott, your host tonight, and this has been the Luxsim24 challenge at Circuit Zolder. As you've heard, we're back next week for the final round of the championship at Martinsville, and it's certainly going to be an exciting race. We have plenty of laps there, 200 laps, 105 miles, coming to you on the 13th of May. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Stay safe, and we'll see you again soon.